All right. Welcome to On The Sideline. I'm your host, Jeff Holden. Today we got Coach Evan Hearn.
Take my hat out.
That's a pretty nice hat
Thank
you
you.
have there.
Thank you.
And our guest man of the hour, head coach AD for the Munday Moguls. Did I say that right?
Yes, sir.
Coach Langston. Appreciate
Yes, sir.
you coming in and being here.
Thank y'all for having us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's just jump right into it. This isn't your first rodeo. It's at least your second because
Yes.
you may not know this, but you do because I told you before the show, but you were our first guest last year. So that's pretty cool to have you back. Appreciate you making the drive. And go ahead and for the viewers, just tell us a little bit about yourself, about your coaching career, and then, we'll go from there.
About to start year 17, third year at Munday. Monday's my only AD head football job. Really good community to kind of start it off with and hopefully end it with. And I feel like came to Monday at a really good time. They've struggled the last few years, mostly because of numbers, real low on numbers, but our numbers are coming back up. We're looking play right around 130 in high school this next year, which is really good numbers for us, and kind of dumb luck to get there as the tides are turning and get to be a part of it, and excited to see where it goes this year.
Yeah, so again, like I mentioned, thanks again for coming up here. This is our football preview, On The Sidelines football preview. This is season 2. We all know that football's king in the state of Texas, and we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to come up here and talk about your Moguls and about the football team. Tell us a little bit about how last year went, and so what was your record last year?
We went 4-6 last year, which is a step in the right direction. It's the most wins that Monday's had since 2017. They really struggled for a few years and just really didn't have the numbers. There was a couple years they had less than 20 guys out for football, and it's tough, especially in the district that we're in with Windthorpe, Seymour, Archer City, Petrolia, Electra, Haskell, to kind of get things going. And it's just been a numbers game the last few years from Monday, and we're kind of coming back up and got some really good groups. Really excited about our freshman and sophomore groups, and we're going to have a full JV this year. We got to play 6 games last year, which is the most they'd played in a while. Kind of let those younger kids grow and develop a little bit, and we're looking at 40 to 42 coming out this year, which is really good numbers for us. And so we're hoping to win a few more games and kind of battle for a playoff spot, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and so we know Monday has a rich history of football, and it's probably, if not, it's in probably the top 10 lowest amount of players consistently, like you mentioned, a numbers game. But and like you said, y'all have 42 coming out, and you're manning a full JV team and a full varsity team with 42 players, which is what most schools in the area would have on just JV or just varsity. So that's impressive. That's like just a impressive thing from you, like you said, that you guys had JV for the first time in a long time, and then now you got 4 wins last year, and you guys are in a very tough district. So to be able to do that with a lot of less number of kids, that just shows what kind of coaching staff and stuff. And hopefully you guys continue to grow every year and get bigger and bigger. That way you can, have a few more bodies out there. But
Coach Langston, you touched on, I think last year during our interview, thanks again for the sweet hats. You didn't get one because I'm taking yours home with me. No, but
coaches take notice.
you mentioned last year is, when it's not going to be about wins and losses, it's about growing the program. And as you mentioned, just hard times had fell on the Moguls as far as the numbers game. And I think not only did you see the numbers grow, but you also saw wins. And like you said, the most wins since 2017. We know it's a rich, traditional, rich program in Monday, and being the only Moguls in the state, is huge. So just talk about in your past 3 seasons the growth that you've seen, not just from maybe just the football side of things, the winning games, but like you said, having 6 games on the JV or being able to complete even a full season on the varsity.
Yeah. I mean, there's only so much you can do when you don't have the numbers. And, I think 2 realignments ago, I think Munday turned in 72 kids in high school. And playing 2A football with those numbers is tough. And our kids are great. They're going to get out there every day and get after it and work hard. And they give you what they got. And that was that first year. We ran a couple of linemen out there that are benching 135 pounds, that are weighing 135, 140 pounds. Our left tackle my first year may have been the fastest kid on the field, but he was 140 pounds. And then, expecting those guys to go out there and compete and play Windthorst and Haskell and Seymour and Archer City and Electra and Petrolia. It's a tough district. And, it's one of those that, we ended up last year, but we're 1 win out from being kind of right there. Everybody was kind of bundled up there together because everybody kind of beat up on each other. And so getting to have a JV was huge last year. And I think it really helped our numbers because there for a couple of years, if you were a decent freshman, you had to play Friday night. Well, a 14-year-old kid is not. Most of them aren't ready to play against 18, 19-year-old guys on Friday night. So you're putting that kid in a tough spot to be successful, to develop, to grow. And then a lot of kids as freshmen were just standing on the sideline. Well, who wants to go through practice and 2-a-days and go through that and not get to play on Friday night? And so last year, kind of having a JV for most of the year and getting to develop some of those guys. We had a couple of seniors that came out last year that probably don't get the credit for most people that they did, deserve for us being a little more successful last year. We had 2 senior linemen, Aaron and Talon, that came out that didn't play the year before. That's kind of been our spot that struggled. We don't have or haven't had many big linemen in the past, and so those guys coming out and filling some big holes and letting some of our younger linemen develop a little bit on JV and not having to throw them into the fire on Friday night helped a lot. And then, we've got a really, really good freshman class that we're going to keep all of them down on JV, hopefully. There's 1 or 2 that may make it tough on us, but that's what you want. You want freshmen to force their way onto a varsity team and not be pushed onto a varsity team when they're not quite ready. And so we're going to have the luxury of having a little bit of depth, especially at the skill position, that if something does happen, we have some guys on JV that are going to be a little more prepared to step in on Friday night.
Before you that just is kudos to you going into year 3 and your coaching staff of, yes, on Friday nights you want to see your team victory, but there's a bigger picture, and being able to, like you said, just grow the program. And now you seeing the reaps and the benefits of you and your coaching staff, because now you're getting kids who didn't play before, who had stopped playing, to come out, and that just shows, once again, kudos to you and your coaching staff on that.
Yeah, and I was going to mention the same thing. I like a lot of people don't realize that that's the path for freshmen is to play JV, or back in my day we had a freshman team. Right, freshman JV. Now it's 2 JVs and a varsity most time or whatever. But and like you mentioned, you said it right. You want them to earn their way into Friday night. You don't want to force them into a Friday night and force them something they're not ready to do. That takes like a lot of kind of like what he said. That takes a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Like discipline on your part, because people forget head coaches are also, they got a job on the line. And so a lot of parents, and even the cities that, especially in a place like Munday, where it's a rich history of football, where like that, I think sometimes parents don't realize that that's the path for them, and it's hard to sit out like a season like last year or the years before, because they're ready to win now.
Mm-hmm.
But truthfully, the best path for those kids, like you said, is stick on JV, and then in a year or two, we really get to see them flourish on Friday night. So I just think that a lot of people don't think of that broadly, and it's always like win, 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 or leave kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always tough on head coaches. But good job, like he said. Kudos to you and your staff on making that decision. And like you said, towards the end of the year, you never know what happens. Those guys end up playing a couple key roles, and everybody benefits from it.
I mean, which, like I said, it's been a numbers thing, where Monday's kind of had to have freshmen play some big roles, and I think we got a couple of our upperclassmen that if they could have had a JV, and some of them maybe they played wide receiver instead of quarterback, or where they didn't get to play on defense when they were freshmen on varsity, or now we're if they had and been able to play JV and not come off the field on both sides of the ball, they'd be a little bit better in certain things, just because of the reps and game reps, and you can't really get those in practice. I mean, however hard you try, it's tough to get those looks, and so I'm really excited to get our younger guys now that we have the numbers. 40 plus kids is a great number for us, and getting those guys. There's going to be a bunch that don't come off the field on Thursday nights and get a lot of reps at multiple positions, and I just think it pays off greatly for us. In another year or two, where those guys are going to be a big part of our varsity team on Friday night, and we've got a good junior and senior class and numbers in those that we don't have to have those younger guys, and so we got a solid junior and senior class. I think we're right at 15 total between our juniors and seniors, so not huge numbers, and we're going to have a couple sophomores up, but better numbers than we've had in the past, for sure. So.
And that, once again, that just speaks to you and your coaching staff. And like you said, now that kid gets to play all day on a Thursday night, whereas, oh, hey, I need you up, and you're going to play, as you mentioned, your fastest kid playing left tackle, because I got to have 5 blockers. But you mentioned a couple of your seniors from this past season that helped you guys win more games since 2017. So talk about a couple of those, and then go into your returners coming back.
And name them by name if you can.
Okay. Yeah. So we lost 6. Probably the toughest one to replace is going to be Mance Phillips. He was our he played a lot of tackle, defensive end for us on both sides. He really kind of grew into that rock for us. He was steady every day, and one of those kids that you really enjoy being around. But he was that guy throughout the whole year for every sport. He was our rock, and was there every day and did what he was asked to do, and had a good motor and got after it. And he's going to be tough. Just losing that leadership, losing that motor. We knew what we were getting from him every day, no matter what day it was. He was Mance every day this year, which was really nice. We lost a couple of linemen that were seniors, 2 other linemen that really get overlooked because they did their job. They didn't do anything just special, but when they were in there, they did their job, and kind of held the rope until some of our younger linemen could grow a little bit on JV and develop and get ready for Friday nights. We're losing A.J. Diaz. He played some running back. Was our nose guard most of the year. He wasn't real big, but he was a go-getter, got after it, played hard, had some speed, and he was one of those guys that we can move. He played nose guard on defense, but he played some running back, played some slot receiver, played some sniffer for us, did some really good things there. And then we lost Caleb Herrera, who he played some O-line linebacker for us last year, and so we lost some good players, but the strength for us, this maybe not the strength, but we're going to have probably the best offensive line we've had, and for sure since I've been there, and I think in the last 5 or 6 years, and we're going to have some pretty big boys, but a lot of sophomores, and so we lost some senior linemen, but we got a really good group that I'm really excited about.
Some say it starts with the offensive line.
Oh, no doubt. I always, I was a line coach. Those are the guys that really get to play football. Everybody else is just running around playing 7-on-7, and so the game of football is played, at the line of scrimmage and inside the trenches. And like I said, my first year we had a couple of guys that weighed 140 pounds playing in there, and I think our smallest lineman this year is going to be about 230.
Oh wow!
So huge difference. We're going to have one or two that are right around 300 pounds, but can move. And so
Monday's coming.
What are those two guys? Or mention the offensive line if you.
So AJ Barr is kind of the one. He's our leader in that group. He's going to be a junior. He was one of those that got thrown in as a freshman. First week, knee injury flared up that he had hurt over the summer and ended up having a torn meniscus and had surgery. Came back, played in, I think, 4 games, tore it again, and had to have surgery again, and was out all spring and was really kind of on the fence about even playing, really smart kid, and as a 14, 15-year-old dealing with 2 surgeries, is this what I want to deal with,
Yeah.
And about a week before 2-a-days last year, he called me and was like, Coach, I want to play. And so I was excited about that, and he had a heck of a year. But he finally got to go through an off season and get back. He's got a lot of strength, and he's kind of become the leader of that lineman group. There were several times there at the end of the school year, I'd walk out of the coach's office, and him and a couple other of our linemen are out there running wind sprints, running gassers out there on their own, out in May, once everything's done. And we've had a really good group of linemen at summer workouts all summer. And AJ is really the leader of that. Zach Castorina is going to be our one senior. He's one of those that's played quite a bit the last 2 years, but it kind of clicked for him this spring, and he's been getting after it. He didn't miss a single day of summer workouts. Really got after it in the spring. Been getting after it all summer, kind of growing into one of those guys for us, and excited to see what he can do. And then Adrian Carmona's the other. He's going to be a sophomore. He's going to be our small guy. He's about 6'3", 230.
Yeah, pretty small.
And but he's one of those that I think he missed 2 days, and he had to go help his dad roof this summer. So that was probably a lot harder than our workouts. Roofing in July is not much fun. But all those guys are smart. They understand the blocking scheme. They understand when the defense comes out in something different, they can make calls and make adjustments, and just to have that size. And then we got a couple other sophomores that those other 2 spots are kind of who's going to show up ready to go. But we had a kid that moved in. That's a sophomore that looks good. We'll see how physical he is. We have another sophomore that he played some last year on both sides of the line. Abraham Gonzalez, he's about 6'3", right at 300 pounds. Moves really well for his size. And when you get to 300 pounds, you can move a lot of people around, and not many people can move you around.
There you go.
And so, and then we got a couple other sophomores, Kenlon Rogers and Big J.J. Wren, that there are a couple more big boys right around 300 that, they'll get after it. And
what are they eating out there on Monday?
I don't know.
We'll say that for later.
Yeah,
I guess so. So you mentioned your O-line, which, man, how can you not be excited about those kids?
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's going to be a huge strength for you. And that's a good strength to have for a football team. What about touching on some of your skill guys coming back, and then some of the defensive guys that you guys have coming back?
Yeah,
this year?
so skill wise, we got a lot of depth out there. That Hayden Bowman, he's our quarterback. He started the last 2 years, and he's probably a better wide receiver than he is quarterback. But he does a great job of getting us lined up and running the play, and he's consistent and smart and can read the defense and read ends on when to pull it and not. And he's one of our best athletes. We have Jarius Williams, who's going to be a senior as well. He's a big basketball guy, 6'5".
He's
Oh,
a
yeah.
dude.
He didn't play his freshman and sophomore year, came out last year. Was a little raw route running wise, but he's had a really good spring, had a good summer in 7-on-7. There's a lot of times that, he'd make a play and the other coach is like, hey, you're in great position. Like, nothing you could do about that. You're just out-athleted.
Yeah, you
so he's I think he's going to kind of be a cheat code for us in some instances, because he's really coming around, running some routes and realizing that's what he's capable of. We'll do some wildcat with him at quarterback. He can put a little different pressure on defenses. He can get outside. He can run on you. He throws the ball about 60 yards in the air. He's got an arm. He can chunk it too. And then we got Kyron Wilson in the backfield. He's played quite a bit as a freshman. He was our main running back last year.
as a freshman.
Last year was a sophomore, so
Okay.
he'll be a junior this year. I expect him, hopefully he'll hit the 1,000-yard mark. That's kind of a personal goal for him. And then, you got Josh Dawkins, who's played wide receiver quite a bit as a freshman. He started most games as a freshman, started every game last year for us. He's a 6'1" kid that's got some bunnies and can get up and really good hands. And we have Kylan that's coming back. This kid, he's going to be a senior. He was, probably 120 pounds as a sophomore when I got there. He's probably only about 125 now as a senior. But that first year, he hurt his thumb, and I'm like, hey, we need you. Let's go. And in our first scrimmage, and come to find out he played the rest of the scrimmage with the dislocated thumb and fractured thumb that had to have surgery. And this last year, second play of scrimmage, catches a ball 25-yard gain or so and gets tackled right on his shoulder and snaps his collarbone.
Yikes.
And had to have surgery. So we're going to put him in for one play in the first scrimmage, run away from him and pull him out to get that first scrimmage over with without him getting hurt. But
That's coaching right there.
yeah, he told me
Smart plan.
he wasn't going to play in the first scrimmage, and I told him we had to get him on the field to get over the first scrimmage jinx. But he's shifty, has good speed. He'll help us on offense, but he's also really good safety. And so getting him back will help. We have Aiden Montanez as a little slot receiver that's got a little shake in him. We got Carson Breedlove, who he's more he was our left tackle as a sophomore, and we kind of let him rest some on offense last year to focus on defense. He was solid defensive end for us, and but he'll come in and play some tight end, sniffer back for us. And we have another junior, Israel Carranza, who played quite a bit as a sophomore, got hurt week 4 last year, but he's got really good hands. And so we got some solid skill guys and got some depth that we can rotate people and kind of help keep people fresh.
So I'm going to start this off by saying, tell me again what your 6'5" receiver name is?
Jarius Williams.
Jarius. So we've seen clips of him dunking the ball any way that he can, and as you mentioned, it was as you came on the show last year, it was a big get to get him on the football field. So when you have a guy like Jarius, our question to all our coaches is, what do you call a guy like him? We've heard dudes, we've heard cats, go daddies.
Man, I call them dudes. The kids, they want to be called dogs.
Dogs, yeah.
Kids are all about dogs right now. But you want that dude that you can, go to, and everybody knows it's going to them, and there's nothing they can do about it. And so, Jarius is definitely capable of being a dude, and he's a guy that probably could play at the next level with his size and speed, and he's a legit 4.7 laser time guy. When he wants to be, he's one of our most physical guys. I think sometimes he's kind of unsure. It sounds crazy, but confidence has kind of been his thing. As a sophomore, he wouldn't even dunk in pregame, and it sounds crazy. I'm like, man, if I'm 6'5" and like I'm rattling the rim, I'm
break the
bringing
whole
it down.
rim and backboard.
Yeah.
And so last year he started, getting a little more confident. And basketball, he started dunking on some people. And this summer in 7-on-7, he was like, "Hey, give me the ball," and he was going up and high pointing it. And when you get somebody like him high pointing the ball with how long and athletic he is, and he's got some bunnies to add to that 6'5". Like a lot of kids that we play, there's not much they can do. And so.
If I'm within the 15-yard line, I got one play.
Hey, Randy Moss.
There's going to be a shot to him for sure.
And that's the deal too. I think you not only did you say that at your level of ball, but even the big level ball, it's hard to defend a guy who is 6'5".
Yes.
Like you said,
with
you just
bunnies high point the ball,
you just throw the ball up there, give him a chance, and not really much the defense can do about it. So, Coach, we talked about it and how the bound that you guys made last year. You guys were 4-6, most wins since 2017. So just talk about your non-district schedule, and then you can go into your district schedule.
Yeah, so we start off going to Abilene to play Abilene TLCA at McMurray.
Which, have you seen? I went to McMurray. Sorry to cut you off, but have you seen what they did with that field?
I saw the new turf.
What?
I don't know if I like it much, but the maroon and gray.
Yeah, you haven't seen. You can look it up on X, but they're maroon, black, and gray. So it's like the field is gray and maroon every other 5 yards. So I don't know how they got past NCAA with that, but
Boise State's got a blue field.
Not a fan.
That's I saw it the other day on Facebook, and I was kind of had to go back and look at it a second time. And
it's gonna be hard for the guys in the press box.
Yeah, that was definitely a screenshot that I sent to our coaches and was like, "Hey, look where we get to play week 1," and they're tough. You don't know what a school like that's going to have. You don't know, what kind of move-ins they get or who moves out or anything. But Phil, we should take care of business over there, and then we go down to Winners. Winners comes to us week 2. That was kind of the team that last year I was pretty nervous about. They looked really physical on film. Their scrimmage against Hawley, they did some good things and kind of stood toe to toe with them, and that was probably the most physical we played. Which all week I was telling them, like, you better show up, you better be ready, like you're going to get hit in the mouth. How are you going to respond? That was kind of the next step was, they went crazy winning game 1 last year, and I actually had to rip them at halftime because they were acting like we won a state championship when we were up big. But week 2, it was kind of like, okay, like we got the monkey off our back with the win. Now we're about to play a physical team that's wanting to line up and just run the ball right at you over and over and over. And how are you going to respond? And we came out and played really physical that game last year. And then we get Chico at home. They haven't won much either. They're very similar to Munday the last few years, but they got some big old boys, and with our size, we did well, but they got a big old running back coming back. He was a 1,000-yard guy. He's about, 5'11", 215, and he's a load to bring down. So that'll be a good test for us. And then we go to Hamlin week 4. And that was kind of the game that hurt us last year. that was probably the worst we played. We kind of laid an egg against them. We were 3-0 going into that game, and media was starting to talk about us, and people were saying, "Oh, what's going on Monday? They're winning a couple games." Hamlin's always got a solid team, and that's my hometown. So some of the kids felt a little bit more pressure, I think, going in there, but. We really struggled and had the ball kind of go against us a couple times early on, and I think we had 3 kids get injured in that game, and it just kind of snowballed, and so I think that's a big one to kind of get over the hump, and we've struggled confidence-wise in the past, but I feel like our kids are starting to realize they're able to win and beat some of these teams, and so that'll be a big one for us. And then we don't get a bye week, so we jump right into district, and we go to Archer City this year, and they lost a lot, but Coach Ritchie does a great job over there, and especially scheme-wise, like he's going to find a way to outman you. He's going to get numbers, and he does a great job over there, and so that's always a tough one to start district off, but one we need to be competitive with. We felt like we could compete with them last year, but Hamlin, we lose 3 guys, and then we get hit with the flu bug, and we went in against Archer City with 8 starters out last year, and so hopefully we can stay healthy and start off district against Archer City, and then we get Windthorst, which is, they're fighting to be playing December football every year, and Coach Tackett does a great job over there, and those kids been in the same system. Their dads ran the same stuff, and so they go home and they're still hearing the same stuff. Probably word for word what Coach Tackett tells them, and so they're tough. You can't any misdirection. Their guys are right where they're supposed to be. They're very disciplined, and then you add the talent on top of all that, and so they're a tough one. Which we really felt we played a really good first half against them last year. We got stopped inside the 5 twice in the first half, but we did some really good things in the first half. Kind of fell apart in the second half, but and then I think we have Electra or Haskell. I can't remember. I think it's Electra at home. Or no, I guess it is Haskell at home after.
Yeah, you guys go Haskell.
So we have
you go to Haskell.
Go to Haskell after having Windthorst at home. Haskell's one that we beat last year. We had a couple of things go our way and gave our kids confidence. And last year against them, and we beat them at our place. We had 3 touchdowns called back. Probably shouldn't have been as close as it was, but. Coach Henderson, they got a new coach, and we worked together at Slayton several years ago, and he's going to have them going. Their quarterback's he's shifty, he's tough, so they're going to be, I think, a little bit better than they were last year. And then we get Electra at home. They got some athletes, they've opened some eyes in track the last couple springs, and with Coach Ritchie coming in there, how are they going to respond? They're going to go to an option type offense, and they got some athletes, so we'll see how they're going to be. They definitely got the athletes to do what they're going to do, and then we get Petrolia, which Coach Blassingame probably should have got Coach of the Year last year. They were the team that, coming into district, I felt the most confident with, and on their bye week, they switched up their offense, made some adjustments, and really turned their season around, and probably played the second best game against us than anybody else in our district last year. So, they're going to be staying in that wing T stuff, and which I think really, when he made that switch, really turned their season around last year. And then we finish up with Seymour, who I think we're going to have them at our place, and hopefully that's a win and get in type game. And it is a team that we felt like we could play with last year. Our guys kind of dipped their toe in the water to see how it was. And in the second quarter, they're like, "Coach, we can beat these guys." And I'm like, "I've been telling you that all week, you know." But we were down like 24-0 at that time, and had it back to a 12-point game starting the fourth. And so they lost Coach Lloyd's son at quarterback. That's tough. I mean, there's times you could play it about as perfect as you could, and he just dropped a dime right in there, and got to replay it. You know, they got a couple of receivers to replace. So hopefully that's a game that we win and get into the playoffs, and then we have our bye week while everybody else is playing. We can kind of hopefully rest.
How
up and
tough
recover.
is that to play 10 straight weeks of football, and not only just for anybody, but especially you guys who have had a number challenge over the last couple of years, just play 10 straight weeks of football?
Man, it's hard. You know, people get banged up. I mean, nobody by week 5 or 6, nobody's 100% healthy. And so not getting a week to really lay off and let kids recover is tough. And then, you know, where our bye week normally would be, we're playing Archer City and Windthorst, which are physical teams that are going to go out there and beat up on you. And so it's tough. We got to be creative and try to find time to take a little bit of contact off of them. And, you know, we have a lot of football kids that are running cross country. And so trying to take stuff off of their legs and everything else. It was a challenge, and there was some stuff that I think it hurt us because everybody was, you know, beat up and banged up and worn out. And I think that helped with the stomach bug and stuff that went around for us about that same time. You know, everybody was kind of drained, and so as coaches, we got to be creative and find time to get them a little bit more sleep and a little bit more rest and take care of their bodies for them.
All right.
You want to ask Big O, or you?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, we'll move on. Big O's not here, of course, unfortunately. He's on like family vacation, I think, or something. But we're asking his question. This is his segment. It's called the Big O Special. Okay? So he loves food. And so I think you remember that. I don't know if he...
I don't know. It was so early.
Yeah, it was early on. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, first question.
Okay.
In Munday, where's your favorite place to eat?
We're limited. There's not a whole lot for dinner. For lunch, you got to go to Maddie's, and it's not bad. We got a bunch of food trucks that come in, but Maddie's that's the Monday restaurant. On Thursdays, you got to go to Tacos El Rey. It's a little food truck that comes in that's pretty solid as well. So
what's the plate at Maddie's? What's the dish? What's the go-to? Do you switch it up or do you stay the same?
I like to switch it up. Their enchiladas, beef enchiladas are good. Their sauces had a little kick here lately, which I spent a couple years down in Alpine. I like good salsa with a little kick, so that's good. You know, a lot of people, their burgers are really good. They have a chicken fry, so you could kind of, you know, mix it up a little bit there and get a little variety, because it's pretty much their Dairy Queen. And I'm not a huge Dairy Queen fan, so
I like their ice cream.
Dairy Queen tacos is like underrated, really good.
And they got those steak fingers. Those are
The steak fingers is if I have to eat at Dairy Queen, I'm going steak fingers
with the gravy.
Yeah, you got to put it in a Texas toast and dip. Yeah,
My mother-in-law's a
I ain't mad
big
at you.
Dairy Queen taco fan. So
if you haven't had the tacos, they're underrated. They're good.
Are they?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know if I have. I usually go to like Taco Mayo Taco something else.
Yeah.
Bell or Casa. I go to Dairy
They're
Queen.
better. They're better than those.
Oh,
for sure.
I don't know. I have to try them. We don't have a Dairy Queen in Burke anymore, unfortunately. So, rip. No. So, I guess I'll ask. I have kind of a 2-question, or my last 2 questions. Or do you got anything else?
I got one more.
Okay, go.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, is there a game on your schedule this year that you have circled?
Man, I mean, you really got to take them one game at a time, and so that's you don't ever want to overlook anybody. Week 1, you got to take it one step at a time and build each week. I think kids can feel when you're overlooking somebody as well, and they relax a little bit, and so there's really not, I'm big on, this is a game at hand that matters. This play matters. But if I had to circle one, I'd probably say Seymour, just because, hopefully we're playing for a playoff spot at that time, and hopefully it's within our hands. We hold our destiny at that time. So that's kind of what I'm wanting to be going on at that time. And so if I had to circle something, it would be
okay. So we're all in agreement that that's the goal this year is playoffs. I mean, obviously it's a goal every year, but at least having a chance to play in that last game and make the playoffs for the Munday Moguls this year.
That's my goal. And that's something that I think our community has been super supportive, and I think they've kind of understood where we've been. That it's not necessarily any one thing, and you want every rebuild to be a lot faster than it is. But this is kind of the year that I think we really start making a turn. And last year was a big step in that direction and laid a good foundation for us. But I don't like losing, and so we need to find a way, scratch and fight and claw and whatever we got to do in this district to find a way to be playing for a playoff spot.
And I think as long as, God willing, you remain healthy, I think you guys got the foundation, and I'm excited hearing about what you guys got coming back this year. And I think it's attainable. I think it's going to happen for you guys.
Yeah, like you said, just a rich tradition and just getting it back. It went from let's field the varsity team to field the JV team to winning 4 games to we know what's expected of the Munday Moguls. We got to get it back to the heights of it. And, it, like I said, rich tradition and winning 4 games. That as Coach Langston said, we're glad to have done it, but there's higher goals in place. And
no
so that's what you want to see out there, Coach. And so my last question to you, Coach, is, what does it mean? Obviously, we know there's only one mogul in the state of Texas. So what does it mean to be a mogul, and what has the community of Munday meant for you and your family?
It's been a great move for my family. I've got 2 daughters and a little boy. My daughters are 9 and 10. Got a 3-year-old son that's about to be 4 that they had never moved before. We'd been at Slayton for 8 years, and my oldest, Landry, was like 4 months when we moved to Slayton, and so it was tough to move from. That's all they knew, but we wanted to get back to that small town atmosphere and culture and just the morals of small towns. Or I don't know, there's something special about small towns, and it feels a lot closer to what my wife and I grew up in, and we let our daughters, they can walk down to the swimming pool that's 6-7 blocks away. They walk home from school sometimes, or they want to walk to school, and you're not worried about anything. We had a little scare with my son a couple weeks ago, and when word got out, like people, were, hey, do you need us to take care of your kids? We can swing by and get your daughters. It's just got that family atmosphere, and that moment really kind of showed us, and we felt the love from everybody that was reaching out and praying and wanting to help, asking if there was anything they could do, or being willing to jump in and help with their kids and all that. And so family wise, it's been a great move, and Monday's that small town, it's just different. Everybody's, you talk about, it takes a village, and small towns are a village that step in there and they help everybody. And Monday's one of those communities that they still want their kids pushed and worked hard, and really haven't had any parent issues or anything like that. Like, they're going to be upset if you're not making their kids work and not holding their kids accountable. And things like that. And so it's just a great place to be. My first AD job, it's been a blessing to step into a program that's got the history that it has, but also understands where we're at right now, and then to see the excitement. Last year when we're 3-0, I mean, that place is packed. We had the '84 team that won a state title come and talk to our kids before the game against Haskell, and I think that played a big role in us going out there and playing the way we were. But those guys, it's been 40 years since they won a state title, and they're sitting in there, talking about their brothers that they played with, and the pride that they have for being a Mogul, and crying for their teammates, and crying about the pride and everything that they have for being a Mogul. And not everybody gets the privilege of being a Mogul. Not everybody can be a Mogul. It takes a little bit more. There's the Mogul's way, and it's something that no matter where you're at in the state of Texas, you mentioned being from Munday, they can't tell you where it's at, but they know you're the Moguls.
Yeah.
And when people hear Munday, that's what they're thinking of, and and they're thinking about football, and they're thinking about track, and it's just a special thing to be able to say you're a Mogul, and it means something. You're not a bulldog or an eagle or one of those that everybody across the state is, and so that there's not a whole lot of Moguls out there, and it's something that people take pride in.
Yeah, definitely. I remember you telling us that last year, and it's always kind of stuck with me that it's only Moguls in the state of Texas,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. My last question, real quick. Tell us how you became, or how you wanted to be a coach, and like how that story unfolded. How did you become a coach?
I've always loved sports. When I was little, I actually thought I was going to always play baseball. Baseball was my thing that I was kind of naturally good at, and that's what I always envisioned myself, playing baseball. And I knew I wanted to be a coach in high school, and my mom, she's not the biggest athletic fan. She didn't come to too many games or anything, and she hated that. She was always like, anybody can be a coach. And so she always wanted me to be a nurse. She had went back to school and became a nurse, and wanted me to be a nurse because there was a shortage in male nurses. And I was like, Mom, I don't really like blood. I don't like throw up. Like, nursing's probably not for me. But
the things you deal with as a coach too.
Yeah, the same stuff I deal with too, but maybe not as much, I guess. And but we had a really great coaching staff in junior high and high school, and that just made me want it more, and let my mom kind of realize how much impact coaches have on kids. And from the first day I walked into junior high, and Coach John and Coach Diggs were sitting there, I wasn't even sure if I was going to play football. Coming in, I played 1 year at Pee Wee and broke my wrist, and moved to a small town, and the first thing they asked was what size helmet you wear, and so I was like, oh, I guess I don't have a choice. And so and then getting to high school, and Coach Still and Coach Scott and Coach Head and all those guys that just really impacted me and everybody else I played with, that made a big difference in who I am. And it was really awesome. My first year, Hamlin had us as their homecoming, and that's kind of a slap in the face. So I was a little upset, and then to make it worse, my wife was a coming home queen nominee, and so she's having to go out there at halftime. I'm in the locker room trying to figure out how to win a game, and so it was kind of a unique thing. But before the game, Coach Steele, who was our high school track coach, and I ended up being a head coach there at Hamlin for a few years, texted me, hey, it's always tough going home the first time. And Coach Head's down at Goldthwaite now, and he's texted me a few times. And then at halftime of that game, that first year, our junior high coordinator, Coach Diggs, he's still farming back there, and he came up and hugged me and talked about how proud he was, and just to have those guys, 20 plus years later that are still invested in me. I mean, it means a lot to me, and those are the guys that impact, thousands and thousands of kids, and that's the kind of coach that I want to be in 20 years from now, that when I see a kid that, they're excited and know that I care about them and all that. And it was really cool at coaching school this year. I realized I'm getting old, but ran into like 8 or 9 kids that I coached that are now coaches, and kind of seeing that is a really cool thing.
Yeah, I agree. That would be pretty awesome. Well, I guess we'll pretty much wrap it up now. Like I said, we appreciate you coming out here. Do you have anything else for us?
No, I mean, I really appreciate you guys having us. I think I told you guys earlier that I've had a couple of texts like, hey, when are you doing your 940 sideline interview? Or, hey, did you listen to this interview or that interview? And so I know our community really enjoys it, and giving the kids a little spotlight and love, and it builds a little excitement for the season and all that. And so I appreciate you guys having me on here, and appreciate what y'all do throughout the year for us.
Thank you,
awesome.
community,
thank
and
you
Monday.
so much. Yeah, thank you guys so much. That's what we're here.
And for these hats too. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks again for this hat, man. This looks good on me.
Hey,
I may have to.
Make sure you wear it in all the other district interviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll go over well. No, you will. You'll see me just wearing it just because I love free hats, and I'm a hat dude. I always have a hat on. So, but well, that's it. I mean, we got our own set of expectations, I guess, for you guys. Yeah. You got your own set of goals, but I think you guys are gonna have a big year this year, and we wish you the best of luck. If you ever need anything from us, just let us know.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.